Hi there. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad you've joined me. Each week, we dive into the real, raw, and often unexpected journeys of everyday runners. Because every runner has a story, and every story has the power to inspire. If you've got a running story of your own, whether you've just laced up your shoes for the first time, or if you're chasing your 100th finish line, I'd love to hear from you. Sharing your journey could be just the thing that someone else needs to get out the door. And hey, if you're looking for a bit of motivation or want to keep running fun and stress-free, check out Zen Run. It's a relaxed community space that I'm building with simple training plans, guided runs and monthly challenges to help you stay on track without the pressure. No expectations, just support, encouragement and a place to enjoy running your way. All right, let's get into this week's story. It's a good one. Today's guest is the wonderful and bubbly Jess Peil, a runner with a big heart, grounded approach and some seriously inspiring stories. We laugh and talk our way through how she got back into consistent running over a decade ago, starting with a really special event, the Puffing Billy Race, an event first imagined by her dad and a group of friends. On the 10th anniversary of his passing and the 30th official running of the event, Jess decided to honour him by lacing up and racing the steam train. That decision kicked off her long-distance running journey, and she hasn't looked back since. We also dive into her epic experience running 7 marathons in 7 states in 7 days. Repeatedly, she's done this event multiple times for the wonderful organisation Bravehearts, and how she keeps showing up with the courage, consistency, and a healthy dose of perspective. Let's dive in for a great laugh and a whole bunch of inspiration. Today on Fit Mind, Fit Body, I am really excited to introduce everyone to a new friend of mine because we've just been speaking for 5 minutes and we're best friends already. Jess Peil, how are you?
Great. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so excited. You look
I'm
like
so excited too.
you're really bubbly and fun. And like I said, we just had a little bit of a chat and I think we're going to have a lovely chat now. So
I think we're going to get along really well. I need to come to Tassie to meet up in the real world.
You do. Well, I travel a bit,
Yeah.
so I can always
good.
come to you too. So there you go. Maybe I should do that funny marathon thing I've heard about where they go to 7 states. We'll see. Let's see. We'll get into that a bit later. Yeah, that's right. You are all a bit crazy. Now, Jess, let's start a little bit though. With your background. Where did you grow up? Tell me a bit about that.
Oh, so I was a Melbourne girl. So born in Melbourne, up in the hills. I still have a really fond memories of that place. It's just, the beautiful big trees. It makes me feel calm, all that sort of thing. So started off there and then we moved to Saudi Arabia. My dad it was unbelievable.
That's amazing.
I loved living there. It was so
How old were you then?
I was 6 and then I left there when I was 10. So yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And can't wait we've just decided we're going to head back for a little visit. So excited. And grew up there and it was an amazing experience.
What do you remember most from that?
Just to get so we lived in what we called the compound. Yeah. And just the friends that you had close by. Mm-hmm. So my best friends were Swedish and American and all that sort of from completely different worlds, basically. Yeah. And we're still friends, which is cool. But yeah, just that and the bus to school every day and this crazy mixture of school that we went to with so many different nationalities. Going to the beach, the goat grabs, just so many different. It's such a different atmosphere to anything that's here. It's very, very, very cool.
I was just telling you that I took our children away. We took them, 3 of them, for a year and a half. But we did spend a month in Lombok in Indonesia and a few other parts of Asia. So that experience, though, of jumping from one culture into something that's so different from what we're used to,
Amazing.
It's incredible, isn't it? Just like even just listening to you explain it, I'm like, I know what that feels like.
It's great. And I think, it just broadens your horizons so much, doesn't it? To see different places, different things, and rather than just sort of, just sticking around and
and
it's not an option for everyone. And so I'm definitely not saying, how dare you not experience the rest of the world, but it just opens your eyes up.
It totally does. It's so different from just watching a movie or watching the television or whatever, just to be able to experience how other people live. And you realize often that you love the way you live. Like I know when we come home from trips to places like that, it's like, I love being there, but I really love coming home as well. There's that, that kind of thing too. So
you have a real appreciation, don't you?
We have quite an easy life compared to some as well. You think, wow.
We're so lucky. Yeah. How lucky are we?
I know. Incredible. So when you were there, so you were till about 10, if my memory is right, which is you only told me 5 minutes ago, so my memory is not too bad.
I don't remember anything from like 2 minutes ago, so you're all good.
Come on. Did they do sport, or you would have been an international school by the sound of it? It sounded like it was an international school.
Yeah, we're at an international school. We did a lot more swimming over there. Like I was in swim squad and stuff like that over there. There was the Jeddah Road Runners, which my dad was very heavily involved in. So we had some really cute. They put on a couple of cute like kids runs and stuff. So it's still on my Instagram because I had to put it up there because it was my brother just reformatted the whole video from recorders that the recorders that are that big back in the 80s.
Wow.
So digitized stuff just recently and got to see this race. And I still remember it clear to this day that it was it was a mile. Yeah, it was a mile long, so 1.6K. And it was an L, just a road in the middle of the desert. There's nothing there, just desert. And light posts everywhere. It's really weird. And I still remember I was really proud because I came second and I was first girl. And you just see this white blonde hair and this dark skin because I was really dark when I was there. Just zooming along, getting a stitch and hear my dad's voice. Oh, it was special. It's really fun.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Oh, my gosh. What did your dad do? Why were you there?
He's an electrical engineer. Oh. And it was one of those things where, obviously nowadays for people who are younger, my dad came back from work and he was looking for a posting somewhere. We had friends that had gone to the US and the UK and stuff like that. And he was like, I'll start to look and see what we can do. And he came back from work one day in the middle of the city in Melbourne and he said to my mum, we got a posting. It's to this place called Jeddah. And my mum said, oh my gosh, where the hell are you taking my family? Pulled out the world map, unrolled the world map.
Oh, wow. Because there was no internet for you to get Google Maps up on.
No, there was nothing. So we pinpointed where we were going and it was this oh my gosh, obviously very nerve-wracking because it's, again, completely different and had no idea, no internet to see what culture's like or anything like that. And it was that real, where the hell are we going? Where the hell are you taking my 6-year-old daughter and my 4-year-old son? This is insane. And it was the best. Wow. It was such an incredible place to go. And obviously desert, hot all the time. We were held because we were on a compound, so we were very looked after.
Yeah.
So I had Ali, the bus driver, that would take us to school every day. Went to British school, and all our friends were there all the time. So it was really it was special. It's very very special.
That's so cool. And 4 years you were there.
Yeah, we're there for 4 years. So it was. Experience.
Where did you go to when you came back? So you come back to Melbourne or did you go somewhere else in Australia?
No, we came to Canberra. So that was in 1988.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm feeling very old.
Oh, you're younger than me. It's all right. It's all good.
I don't feel like I look younger than you.
No, but you are, right? Must be all the running I do.
Well, That's what we like to say, hey?
That's right. I used to say so I can keep up with my kids, but I think
exactly. Now there's no chance I can keep up with my kids.
No, that stopped a long time ago.
Oh, gosh, yes.
So you came to Canberra?
I came to Canberra and haven't left. And I love it here. It's a really great place to live.
I hear the temperature in Canberra is very similar to Tasmania, as in you get quite warm, apart from the warm bit. You get quite cold. It's like Tasmania.
Yes.
But so you have quite the range because you're away from the sea, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I like, having the 4 seasons and stuff. And I think right now is the best season. I love autumn. It's so pretty. But it's Canberra's an expensive place to live generally, but it's just easy. It's really, really easy. As the same as like with Tassie, like it's such a beautiful place to live.
And you've got like lots of access to things on your doorstep. Like you can drive for an hour or hour and a half and you can almost be at the ocean, can't you? It's not that far to get to the sea.
It's so close. It's 2 hours to the ocean.
Yeah.
And 2 hours to the snow.
Yeah.
And 3 hours to Sydney, if you really want to go to Sydney. I'm not a Sydney fan.
I did live there for a while, but yeah.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
It was during the Olympics, actually. So that was I was spoiled.
Cool.
So I think I had a good experience of Sydney in that way because everybody was happy.
Cool.
Because it was
that's a nice change.
Exactly. I know.
I went there for 2 hours in February and I went, I'm out. Get me out of here. I have to leave.
They're not happy.
No, not a city girl.
All right. So you're at school from 10 or whatever through to, what did you do at school? What was school like for this? I guess into high school. You would have been heading into high school almost by the time you got to Canberra. What was that period of your life like?
Look, it was like obviously great. It was, I think I got into the school when it was, obviously friendships were formed already and stuff. Yeah. So it was a bit of, trying to get myself in there and stuff. And after a while it was just, again, same thing. It was really easy. Mm-hmm. I'm not a very scholastic kind of girl. I
always think of everyone in Canberra as being a bit clever.
Oh, no.
There's something about the water up there or something.
No. Oh, gosh. No, definitely. I must have missed that cup of water because I loved sport. I loved art. I loved like the fashion sort of side of things and stuff. So I really liked doing those things.
Yeah.
And weirdly, I did really well in religion.
Wow.
Which is very strange, but, but apart from that, it was because I went to an all-girls private school.
Yeah.
As well. And it was, at the time, it was, if you're not in the top 10%, then it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I was also, and sorry for those who think this is a bit too much info, I had really bad urinary tract infections and really bad bladder issues growing up. And I basically spent my whole, puberty kicks in. It's a reality of our lives.
Yeah.
Sitting on my foot in class, couldn't concentrate, really had bad brain fog.
Yeah.
And it only kind of occurred to me a couple of years ago. Clearly the brain fog lasted a very, very long time, but only occurred to me.
Eventually it lifted.
Yeah, exactly. And I said to my mum, yes, the teachers at school were like, oh, she likes to act the blonde. She likes to pretend to be dumb, but we know she's smart. And I was like, I couldn't concentrate. Like I was sick through school. So how could you...
Yeah.
That was never it was never a thought during school. It was just, she's naughty, she's misbehaving, she's not concentrating, whatever, but it was actually I wasn't well.
That's so often the case, isn't it? Although you hear
it really is
of that.
It really is.
That's wow. And so how did you deal with that? So you just did the things you wanted to do and didn't pay any attention.
Just tried to kind of ignore it and stuff as much as I possibly could. But, I just dealt with it as I could, whatever you can do, really. It stopped after a while. And I've been great for years and years and years now. Thank goodness.
Touch wood.
touch wood. But, so I think I just grew out of it. Thank goodness.
It did make, obviously, your high school time not as pleasant as it could have been.
Correct. Correct.
Sad.
Yeah.
Did it affect things like sport when you were at school?
It affected swimming.
Okay.
Because I couldn't really swim as much. I still swam until, I think I was still swimming until I was in maybe year 8.
Yeah.
I would say. And I was doing gymnastics up until I was 14 as well. Nowhere near as good as my daughter, who's a national level 8 gymnast.
Oh, wow.
But still, I loved it. It was great. And I went on to coaching instead for a while there, and so changed it up that way. But it didn't really affect sport too much. Mm-hmm. So I was still on the like the cross country team for school, and did all the run things and all that sort of stuff, and continued. Like running has been around forever, as you know, and it's just gotten more as I've gotten older. But yeah, it's just something that it has been. The two consistent things in my life have been running and skiing. Because skiing is if I could ski every day, I would. It's my absolute favourite thing.
2 children who are into that, one in particular who love it. Obviously, there's not a lot of it in Tassie, but they're like that. Their eyes go like yours just did when they talk about it.
It's the best. Absolutely. I was one of those kids who could ski before I could walk. So those annoying little 18-month-old kids just scooting down the hill like it's like not an issue at all.
You also have good balance, I think.
Yeah, I think, you do. Just that.
It's like,
look at us.
I've done a little bit.
I'm teaching you a first lesson.
That's about it. I haven't done much skiing. I've done a little bit, but not very much.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Now, I always ask what you thought about running. Can you remember how you felt about it when you were young? Obviously, I wonder with that reflection of your story when, back in Jeddah, where you vividly described that experience in that event.
Yeah.
Whether that coloured how you felt about it as you went on?
I think, I think so, to a point. But, as you hit those teenage years in your life, you anything you do is to be against your parents kind of thing. And then because my dad was such a big runner, it was that whole, you're so not cool kind of thing. So I kind of fell out of it a little bit. And then that was probably after I finished school though.
Okay.
Or probably about that year 11 mark. So I ran all the way through to year 10.
Yeah.
Dropped off the mark a bit. Mm-hmm. And then I really only got back into it. So I don't know if you've heard of it. There's a run in Melbourne called the Great Train Race.
I have. Is that with the puffing Billy? Is that with
puffing? Correct. Spot on. So my dad was the person who thought that up.
No.
So he used to be in a group, and they'd run every Saturday, Sunday, whichever. And they met up one day in Belgrave, and because we lived in Belgrave. Yeah. And they're like, oh, what are we going to do today? Where should we go? What should we do? Da, 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 da. And my dad said, I've got an idea. Why don't we try and beat Puffing Billy up to Emerald? And it was the only other person I know who did that was the principal of the Selby Primary, the school that I went to as well. But we've never. He's actually, they've both passed away now. But it would be cool. I never actually got to chat with the principal about it, just to try and get some ideas. But with that, when it was the 10th anniversary of my dad passing away, and it was the official 30th anniversary in the same year of the Puffing Billy event.
Oh, wow.
And I went, I've got to do this. This will be great. Oh. So I'd sort of, I'd kept having touch points with running here and there up until then. And then I was like, that's it. I've got to do this. This is my comeback. So I did that, and it hasn't stopped since.
So, number one, when was that?
So that was, oh my goodness. That'd be 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be at least a good 10 years at least ago, yeah.
When you were like 20?
You're really kind.
No. So
I'll just do these ones now.
Hold on. Yeah, nobody can see us though, flapping our long blonde hairs around. Terrible. I haven't got as good a lighting those.
I'm trying to keep my back warm because it's nice in the sunshine here. It's freezing today.
Melbourne's not that. I'm in Melbourne, everyone, just today.
There we go.
Rather than cold Tassie, which is probably colder even. Yes, I wanted to ask, so before we get into your adult running journey.
Mm-hmm.
What work did you do? We haven't touched on that. Like, so what did you, or do? What did you do because you said you weren't very academic, so I'm assuming, but I shouldn't assume. Did you go to uni or did you do further study when you left school, or what did you do? Tell us that story a little bit.
So I went to TAFE for a while there, and it was one of those, like my dad passed away, and then I went straight to TAFE straight after that, and like a couple of months later got into TAFE and just did marketing at TAFE, which I really enjoyed and stuff. But it's one of those things that I turned around, did that, and then I started working at what was then the Southern Cross Health Club in Canberra, so a gym, and really got into that while I was studying. And kind of used a little bit of my stuff there and all that sort of thing. And then little did I know, the owner of the club would eventually one day be my husband.
Oh, that's why you were shaking your head like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally understand now.
Exactly. So we got together. Oh gosh, how long? We've been together now for 23 years.
Wow.
And so that proves that I am not in my 20s. And
you were pretty young.
So we got together then, and really quickly after we got married, because we got married 22 years ago, 6 months later our son was born. So from then we've got 3 children. So I've got my son who's 22, another son who's 20, and my daughter who's 17. And I basically because his work was so busy with gyms and everything on that side of things, that I went more into the parental role. Not that he dismissed them or anything like that, but it was that was my main role up until So we also, after the gym that we were in originally, we then purchased and brought to Australia Anytime Fitness. And so that has been a massive, undertaking for him.
I think I saw that on a Facebook stalk. I forgot.
Oh, there you go.
when I was inviting him, I thought, I should have a look into Jess for a minute.
Who is this person?
I don't usually do that, but then I had somebody who turned out to be an Olympic runner and I didn't know. But I found out on the podcast, but I thought, I probably should have known that before. Anyway.
Well, I am not an Olympic runner, so that's okay.
It's okay. I didn't come across that. That doesn't mean you could have been hiding it.
Well, this is true. What is in the back of my closet?
Exactly. Oh, look, it's an adult.
So we've been doing that for a long time, and I've just sort of kind of been on the sidelines, and then in that work-wise, been sitting on the sidelines for quite a long time, and then I started getting into more the fundraising side of things and stuff 7 years ago. So that's kind of taken a lot of my time.
Yeah.
And now that I'm the ripe young age of 48, I have decided to
quite a bit younger than me. It's okay.
Not much. And I decided that maybe now it's time to be an adult.
Oh, no, don't do that.
I know. Well,
you should keep chasing Puffing Billy.
I will be. I'll still be doing that. You have to keep chasing
Puffing Billy, I think, because it sounds like a jumping in puddles type of thing.
I think so. I do need to keep reverting back.
Yeah,
and keep crafting and doing all that sort of stuff as well that I do. Yeah. So I'm stepping into my own gyms as well. So I'm opening up a couple of Anytime Fitnesses in Canberra in the next, one's very soon. I actually had a phone call from one of the guys helping me out with it as we've been chatting.
Yeah.
But yes, I've got a couple of gyms in the pipelines, which is exciting and scary.
So you guys really, you and your husband, did you, correct me if I'm wrong, so you brought Anytime Gym to Australia? Is that?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you're going to open a couple of the franchises yourself.
Correct. Yes.
In and around where you are, or are you talking about doing that? Yeah. So in Canberra.
I'll start in Canberra. Yeah. So I've just got a couple. They're really close by. One will only be a good 5 minutes away, and the other one's about 15, 20 minutes away. Wow. So which would be fun.
My coach is always giving me lots of strength stuff to do, and I've got one of those a really ordinary secondhand little home Jimmy cable thing.
Yep.
It keeps falling. If I pull it too hard, the whole thing goes.
Oh gosh.
Like, whoops. You must have some really good gear.
Well, we've got actually the as I keep saying, we've got the smallest Anytime Fitness in the world in our garage, and it's great. It's really good. My husband's really into researching stuff and seeing what's new out there and what's going to work for him and stuff, and really into longevity as well at the moment. So also going into recovery stuff a lot more, like all the your heat, ice, all that sort of stuff too. And so it's fun. So we've got all that at home as well.
I think that
we're basically a mini AIS.
I love that. I was going to say that about Canberra and AIS when you said, anyway, doesn't matter. The whole getting stronger as we get older, or that being as important, if not the most important thing that you could be doing for your longevity.
Yes, agreed.
Is what, most of us runners have run from the gym for a long time, not spent enough time on our strength. And
very true.
It has come up a lot on the podcast about how important strength is. And I think we're seeing it more. And I don't know if it's because I'm speaking to older runners and I'm an older runner now, that we're all identifying that, that is something that we really need to spend time doing and being more deliberate with.
Agreed.
Which is why I even have a cable machine thingy and find out ways to enjoy it, like we enjoy our running. How to motivate us to make sure that we get out and do that as much as we need. It's like how you got to, it's the how we take that we've learned with running and to keep running even when we don't feel like it. How do you take what you've learned from that and put it in the strength bucket as well and keep getting yourself to do it?
And I don't want to be like, tooting my own, tooting the whole join a gym kind of thing. But it does, everybody is very different, of course, with, the way that they want to train, and if they are social or if they are solo or, like their own peace and quiet and stuff like that. Like everyone is so, so, so different. I'm clearly got a bug in front of me, clearly a chatterbox, and I like social things, and I have to have a PT who puts me through my paces a couple of times a week, and just purely because, again, it makes me do it for one. It's also social, and I really like that aspect of it. Whereas my husband, he is still like, he's quite a social person. He tries to deny it, but he's actually a very social person. But he prefers to train solo. Yeah. So hence the fact that we've got a gym at home and he'll go down and use that. I think I've only ever done, in the year that we've lived in the house we're in now, I've done one workout in our gym downstairs because I need people.
That's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think that's probably why as well, like I've gone into wanting to open my own gyms as well, because I need that. I need that social. I need to be able to feel that I can talk to adults again, rather than just my dogs.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit of a win-win as well. But I also think too, like obviously our strength work is important, our run work is important, but I also think our mental health is also super important. And I'm talking, again, for the social side of it, for general like depression or feeling lonely or anything, I think we need to be doing that stuff. But also I know they say, if you're wanting to, basically your treatment for prevention of dementia starts in your 40s. And I think that's a really important thing to do too. And there, obviously there are people out there who can help with that sort of stuff, but just constantly trying to learn, and just connecting your brain to your body, I think is so important for us.
And all the neuroscience shows that when we move, we create new neural pathways, and that all helps with dementia, things like that as well. So get out there and get running and get stronger as well. Yes. I think we spend a lot of time having specialists in our lives who silo, and like they take whatever their specialty and it's just that silo and they just talk about that one thing. We need more people like I believe, who are generalists, because it's actually about all of the body, all of the mind, and you can't separate any of it, and it all needs to be working together in harmony for us to live as long and as healthy as we want to, or to give us the best opportunity to. So,
absolutely. And it really does. I've got as my friends now call him, Cairo God. And he's this amazing Cairo that I've been seeing now for, about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And he's also really into the neurological kind of like side of things as well.
Excellent.
So it's really cool that he's connecting my like recovery, rehab and strength, and also neuro stuff too. So occasionally I'll go in and he's like, the weird thing was when I did Bravehearts 777 last year, I couldn't, everybody else could. I couldn't high five him. Like I couldn't actually connect my hand to his one. And it was this real, like, you know, just flapping my hands around in the air, trying to actually connect a high five and stuff, and going, oh my goodness. And he at that point said, and I can't remember what part it was in my brain. He said, you're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. So we worked on that as well, which was really cool. It was just blew me away. The stuff Mark does is incredible.
Oh, I keep, whenever I'm training for something big, I'm like, I need one of those medical teams that follow people, not just, a physio and a chiro and a massage person that just follows these people around.
Oh gosh,
like you just need your own little.
It'd be the best.
I just want that person. Anyway, now back to you, Jess.
Yes.
So 10 years ago, started running again as an adult because of Puffing Billy and it being a special year, 30 years since that started and all that kind of stuff. So, and it also coincided with your dad's anniversary for your dad as well, passing. Correct. And it was really awesome. Why did you keep going? Why did you keep going from after the Puffing Billy experience?
I think I caught, that bug.
No, what are you talking about?
No, what are you talking about? We have no idea what this bug is. No, I really did catch the bug, and it was, I think, so often, as a lot of us know, you do a 5K, and then you go, oh, what's next? And then you do a 10, oh, what's next? And you just keep,
like a ladder,
keep plugging on. Yeah, it is really like a ladder. And then by the time you know it, you're doing multi-stage day 100-miler stuff, and still loving it just as much, but still going, oh, what's next? Like I'm still, the things that the runs that I've done over the years have been awesome, fun, great, but I'm still going, what's next? There
is something with that I ponder, because I'm a bit like that, because do we spend enough time celebrating what we've just done or where we are? Because we're so busy. It's definitely my personality. I'm always like, what's next? Like, okay, I've done that, tick, boom, next. We don't spend enough time just thinking. Anyway, that's just as you were describing it, it reminded me how frustrated I am that I keep doing that too. Do I spend enough time in, going, oh, I just did that.
In the bubble.
And that was really cool.
Yeah, I wonder actually. I wonder too, because we, and I don't want to say like the keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing, but we have other people in our running communities. Like I run with a group, Elevate Running and Fitness in Canberra, and we're coached by Cherie, and who's amazing. And you keep hearing all the things that other people are doing within the group too, and you're like, and you don't go into those things and say, oh, I want to do that because I want to do it better than such and such or whoever did. You go into it because they're enthusiastic about it. Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I want to have that fun. Yeah. I want to have that fun. I want to try that, see how I go.
That bit's the catchy bit.
Yeah. It really hooks you in all the time.
When you have your own podcast and you pull people in and they're talking to you about all the different runs they've done, and it's like, oh.
You just got this little bit of paper. You're just adding them onto the wish list. Yeah,
no chance at all. Anyway, so tell me about some of the runs that you've done that have left some, pretty outstanding things in your head that are hard to let go of that you loved.
I
or didn't love, maybe.
Or didn't love. That's true too. the ones that come to mind straight away are the Bravehearts 777 Marathon, where we run the 7 marathons in 7 states in 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
And just knowing what it does outside of running,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to, you know, go for a run at whatever event,
mm-hmm.
and it's for you,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to this one, it's for community, it's for something bigger.
Yeah.
So I really love that. And this is my 7th year doing it this year, and really trying to raise 200,000 this year.
Yeah.
So, which would take me over 500,000 all up over the 7 years.
Wow.
And which that's my thing. Like, I want to raise the most. I'm not going to run fast, because let's be real, when you're running back-to-back marathons, who cares about your time?
In really? 7 states, I should add, just for those of you who don't know what that is, because you just jumped in now.
But yeah, I just, you know, if people are going into doing that and they're concerned about their pace
mm-hmm.
every day, they're doing it for their ego. They're not doing it for the actual cause. And that's where I'd rather be out there for 6.5 hours. I'll go to the cutoff. If it means I can touch more, like, talk to more people, and, you know, touch them with the stories and with the why we're doing what we're doing. So I really love that, and looking forward to doing that again at the end of June this year. So very excited. Another couple of ones that I've done that I really, really loved. Last year I did one that was, again, it's a charity one, for leukemia, with the Bloody Mission.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a 5K vertical challenge. Ooh. So we basically had this one little track that was 1.8 Ks long, thereabouts, or 1.6 thereon. And we literally just ran up and down, up and down, up and down all day. So I think all up it was about 60K to get to the 5,000 meters. I pulled out I said again, Cherie came with me, my coach came with me for that one too, and joined in. And we got to I just said to her, I think I'm just going to get to a marathon, and then that's it. I'm done. I didn't want to have to drive the hour and a half back in the dark. But that was really, really fun. It really left a very, very memorable impression with me and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I actually had a podcast with the guys on Saturday, reflecting on that as well. And it was just fun. There was only 15 of us who were invited to it. So I think that made it a little bit special again. And we had to raise money for leukemia. So, and we raised over 30,000 for that one. Loved that. And then the other one I really love too is Southern Lakes Ultra over in New Zealand, which is a multi-stage ultra event with camping and carrying your stuff with you. And loved it. So I'm doing that again in February with my brother.
Wow, I've never heard of that one. That sounds amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. It's really great. It's just good people doing really crazy, dumb stuff through the mountains in New Zealand around Queensland. It's awesome. I really loved it.
I'll have to look.
But it's relaxed.
See, there you go. You've just thrown another one on my little list. I've to look
there you
go.
There you go. There's still places available. FYI.
Excellent. Also good to know. I am going to Cambodia in a few weeks, or a few months,
nice.
to do a half
that'd
marathon.
Be good.
Anyway, we'll see.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
So, what is it about the fundraising that really drives you?
I think just still having that. You know what? Fundraising wise, I know within myself I'm not going to be competitive as a runner. Mm-hmm. But I'll be competitive as a fundraiser. So I think that's my counterbalance kind of thing.
Well, that's your competitive bone is being able to be used, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I really want to raise as much as we possibly can, and obviously financially and awareness-wise as well. And I think that really drives me and keeps me going, because it's like we can't do... Like Bravehearts can't do the things that they do without that finance, and they're making massive, massive waves. And I also think too, because I've almost got like a little triangle of charities that I go with. So Bravehearts is my big one, and I am the Canberra ambassador for Bravehearts as well. And then there's also Men's Link, which is a Canberra-based one, helping young boys. It's basically it is suicide prevention, but putting them on the right path, and it's a amazing mentoring program. And I did a big Men's Link hike for them last year as well, which was great. And then also Running for Resilience, which is a suicide prevention run group in Canberra, and that has just blown out of the water. We get around, I think our biggest number for people, and on a Wednesday night, Wednesday is our big one. We've had 620 people on a Wednesday night come for the run. It's phenomenal. So, no memberships, no nothing like that. Like, we just put out the awareness and stuff for suicide prevention, have a chat at the start about our why, and then at the end, people hang around at the dock, which is a pub with unbelievable pub food, and we, everyone just stays around and chats, and it's awesome. People are still there at like 8 o'clock at night. It's amazing, but we have it in different locations across Canberra now, and suicide has now dropped by, I think it's around that 40% in the ACT, and we like to think we've had a bit of a help with that, which has been really, really great. So it's kind of my triangle, because it's those three things are so connected. So
we should put a link to those things in your show notes as well, so that people can follow them up if they're in Canberra or for those particular ones. But also, of course, the Bravehearts.
Great.
We'll talk about Bravehearts in a minute, but
for sure.
I wanted to just touch on, it was just something that you said there about the suicide prevention and the chatting and that kind of stuff. When I first started the podcast about 5 years ago, we went through a bit of a period where we often mentioned the fact that it made, especially blokes, but women as well, talk to each other when you're out for like the Sunday run and running with people like you described a minute ago.
Yep.
And it came up that we realised that when you're running next to someone, it's easier to chat about things that are maybe challenging for you, because you're not sitting eye to eye. And women are much better at being able to look at each other in the eye and talk about hard things, but not always. But whereas blokes particularly find that hard, like they find it much easier to not be, it's less confrontational if they're both running in the same direction, and they can chat about things, even if it's not the direct thing that's upsetting them. It's that ability to be able to communicate with other people in that way where they're not having this eye-to-eye contact. It's really helpful in these circumstances. It really is.
I saw this thing years and years and years ago, and it said and it goes down to like with kids as well, that if you have something that you really need to talk to, that, serious subject with a child, get in the car and drive with them in the car instead, because again, that's that same thing. You're not sitting there like, if you go up to a dog and you're looking at a dog straight in its face, it feels threatened. It's the same thing. We're the same. And I think it's also when you put the running into it as well, you've obviously got the we don't have the runner's high really until you finish, but the endorphins are already flowing. So it does make conversations so much easier, and the conversations that come out, as you know, can be like pretty crazy sometimes.
They're quite interesting sometimes, aren't they? The minutiae. We often say that I've got a group of friends that I've been running with for like 20 years, twice a week when we're all in the same place, and even though we see each other more now outside in social circles, but maybe in the beginning you mostly just saw them on those days, but they would know you better than even your family sometimes, or what's going on in the day-to-day life, because you talk about, the toilet blew up, or just the minutiae of life, the kids are being whatever, annoying or whatever, I don't know, you just talk about ordinary things as well as bigger things come in after that, if that makes sense.
It's so
kind
true.
Of lays this foundation for trust and whatever.
It really does. Like I think just running and movement, like, as we always say, like movement is medicine. And, sometimes part of that medicine is getting stuff off your chest, things that are, whatever. And it doesn't matter what it is and stuff, like it makes the conversation so much easier.
I love it. Oh my! We could actually. We talk about 3 hour. We could do the 3 hour podcast easily. But before we do, because I know you have a hard stop today. You're the Bravehearts. I did want to talk a little bit more about that, because obviously it's really important for you, because this will be the 7th one that you've done.
Yes.
Why you Bravehearts? And then can you tell us a little bit more about what Bravehearts does in the community? Sure. Because obviously other people are maybe not as aware as I am.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. So I first started getting into Bravehearts by there was a woman who I met at a run. Funny that, and and she said, "Oh yeah, this is just a training run," and it was a race that's north of Canberra called Cohen, and I was like, "What?" Training run, like half marathon on dirt for training. What the heck are you doing? And she said, "Oh, I'm doing this Bravehearts 777. It's and she, filled us in on it and what it does, etc. And piqued my interest. Oh, again, that 5K to the 10K to the half marathons, kind of getting further, and just really piqued my interest. And I was like, at the time, it was, is that something I could do? Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe let's give it a red hot crack and see, but the universe has that way of connecting things so much. So with our office for Anytime Fitness is in Sydney, and being in Canberra, my husband had to travel up there quite often. So he'd gone up to Sydney that week after I'd done the half marathon. Hadn't thought much about 777 after the conversation with Jane, and so he comes back and he says, "Oh, so Jordan, who was our legal counsel at the time, who now coincidentally works for us directly, he and he's from Tasmania as well."
What?
He's a good egg, yeah.
Not a surprise.
No, not at all. So he had been talking to Bravehearts and for trying to get a connection with Bravehearts and Anytime Fitness. So my hubby comes home and he said, "Oh, so George's been talking to these people. It's about this Bravehearts something, something, something."
And you went, "I know."
And I went, "Oh, 777. Do you want a runner?" And he went, "Yeah, let's do it." So that's where it really started. And it was again that first year of can I do it? Is this something that my body is going to do? Is this something that mentally I'm going to be able to do? And then how much can I raise in this? In this. So I was really excited about that sort of prospect in there as well. And from there, it became so much more because it's so much bigger than what we are. And as I say quite often as well, we're just the tool to get the message out there and to get the awareness out there and etc. The people behind the scenes, so the people who crew for us, who get up hours before us, they organize everything. We show up, put our shoes on and off we go, are phenomenal. And then the other step back there is as well, of course, all the people who are involved in Bravehearts, with the counselling services, that everything that they do within their walls has just kept me pushing along every single year for the last now 7 years. So it's one of those trying to make an uncomfortable conversation something that should be easier to talk about, because people need to know that one in four kids will be affected by sexual assault by the time they're 18, and it's not right. That number has to know, and it's the what. Why does this happen? And then you sit there and you see these kids who have had stuff happen to them as young as babies. And it takes them 30-something years to be able to talk, because they've got, they're manipulated so much when they're young. They've got blockages. And, we want the conversations to happen because it makes people come forward sooner if something happens, or we can protect kids so that nothing happens to them. Go into the school programs and teach kids how to protect themselves, teach the teachers how to recognize signs, teach the parents how to recognize signs. My niece, her little boy came home from school only very, very recently, And he's singing this song about protecting your body and looking after your body. And this is mine. You don't have access to this. It was awesome. And that wasn't Bravehearts program. That was another program altogether, because it's not in Canberra. But that's what pushes me along, because Bravehearts is so special in what they do. And the people who started Bravehearts originally back in the day were so brave and fought so hard to be able to put the message out there and stuff, with the potential of them being arrested just for saying the word child sexual abuse in public. So it's, I've just, my whole heart is there.
So when you're running, is that in this event in particular, do you feel, that everything that you just said, that's a big part of it as well? Like, it's running.
Oh, yeah.
You know how, as you said before, we often run for ourselves, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
No.
Because
No.
Yeah, that's obviously,
everyone
especially mums get very,
oh my gosh,
it's such a selfish thing. I feel bad about going and running.
Do it, get out the door.
That's not true. It's almost the opposite. But at the same time, there's also awesome to have other reasons and other whys that are outside of you, which I think is amazing as well. It's just another reason, as you said, another challenge, and you put it very, very eloquently.
Thank you.
how you how you think about it and why you do it, and it is a difficult conversation, and having those conversations are really important though. And Bravehearts, it couches it in this thing that we are happy to talk about on a running podcast, because it's about running. We're all happy to talk about what. So it gives a kind of conduit, I guess. It's really another way for the community to talk about it via this event that you guys do, which is all a little crazy, which I think is great. There's probably better ways to describe what I was trying to say. But
you did good.
It's this kind of this conduit that you have it. I love it.
I just think it puts an importance on it, and it puts it really does. It puts a real good intention on the why. And then even obviously during 777, because road running's so harsh on the body anyway.
I love trail
as well. I'm such a trail girl. But put on my roadies just for this. And but you do go through so many emotional imbalances during the week as well. And but you always bring yourself back to the why. And you just know that that's what's going to push you across the line at the Gold Coast Marathon for the one that we do at the end. You're going to make that. You're going to get there. You're going to finish it and stuff, because it's such a big thing that we're trying to do. Because I truly believe that with Bravehearts, that if a child is supported when they're very young, and if something does happen, if something, heaven forbid that it doesn't, but if something does happen to a child when they're young, and then they know that they're supported, that can avoid a lot of like drug abuse, alcohol abuse, other sexual abuse as well, suicide prevention. There's so much stuff that it can assist.
It's even just them not achieving what their full potential is in life.
100%. 100%. Yep, it's so true. So I just think it is this real. I think there are so many amazing charities out there that are doing so many similar things, that when alone, the whole alone, you can only do so much, but together you can do greater things. For them to not bash heads against each other and stuff and say, well, this is me and this is you, and this is, separating everybody up, working together, like Running for Resilience and Men's Link are really working hard together at the moment, which has been such a beautiful cohesion for that to happen. And then with the Running for Resilience, with Bravehearts and Men's Link as well, we all connect really, really well too. And so there's this, it's this really beautiful cohesion that we're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to protect people. We're trying to prevent suicide. And it's a starting point.
love it. I love you doing amazing things. Now, Jess, I usually have all these really cool questions I ask people, but we've run out of time. So so we'll have to get on again another time. That's what'll have to happen. And talk more about just your running. I'm sure we'll also bring up other things, but I'm sure we should do that.
Yeah, happy to. And we'd love to have you come to the 777 in Tassie.
Of course.
Come along to the Hobart one.
When is it?
So that's on the Thursday. So that is I'm working my way backwards.
Look at you.
Third.
I could probably just go,
July.
I think I'm even in Tasmania.
Yay. See, now you're going to be there.
I've got a little thing now, and I said it in public. Anyway. Thank you for getting on. I normally ask everyone before we wrap up just a couple of tips for beginner runners. And you're in a great – what would you say to someone if they come up to you and said, Jess, where do I start? I've seen this amazing things that you do. I want to start running. Yeah. What would you suggest?
My suggestion would be just lace up. Don't go out too hard too fast because you'll burn yourself out completely. Yes. And aim for little things, like aim for your little, like you can just have, it doesn't matter if it means that you want to get to 2 kilometers or if you want to get to 10 kilometers, just break it down every day and make your way towards it. The consistency is key, and just enjoy it. Run with a smile on your face because it's fun.
It is. Even the pain is fun. Learn to enjoy that.
It is. Enjoy it. Makes you feel alive.
Don't jump off it straight away, even though I know you've got to run. But thank you so much for being on here. I really appreciate it. And good luck with your next 777. I'm sure you'll be doing amazing. Thanks for getting on and inspiring us all some more. It's been awesome.
Oh, thank you. And please come and join me for a run anytime. Running for Resilience every Wednesday, please. Shameless plug.
I love it. And I'll put a link in as well.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening. I hope today's chat left you feeling just a little more inspired to get moving, whatever that looks like for you. If you've got a story to tell, please reach out. I'm always looking to share more real running journeys that can lift up and encourage others. Whether it's a little win, a big goal, or just why you run, I'd love to hear it. And if you're looking to keep your running fun, motivating and totally stress-free, have a look at Zen Run. It's a low-key space with simple training plans, guided runs and monthly challenges to keep you going without the pressure. Until next time, keep running, keep breathing, and keep showing up for yourself.